Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a speech therapist in Southern California, and in this video, I'm going to talk about 10 ways that you can build language for children who haven't started to talk yet. Number 1, use gestures. Gestures are a great way to bridge the gap towards talking. Plus, you're giving them lots of specific things that they can communicate using gestures, even if they don't have the words yet. Number 2, use a lot of specific words when you're talking to your child. So rather than calling it, call it a tree or a mug or a book. When we use the specific name for things that our children see every day, we help them first understand the meaning of these words. And then once they've understood the word, they have the opportunity every time you say that specific word to imitate you. Number 3, spend some time talking about the things that your child really likes. And this is really important because in order for your child to learn something new, they have to be paying attention. And they're more likely to pay attention to something that they like. Number 4 is to practice with imitation during play. So practicing with imitation in play means that we could focus on them practicing with imitating something that we're doing. Maybe we open a cabinet, hide a block inside, and close it. And they get to imitate that action as we talk about what's happening. They're still engaged, they're still learning, and they have the opportunity to practice the skill of imitation, which is going to be how they're going to learn to say a lot of new words, but just in an activity that's a little bit easier for them today. Number 5 is to use fun and exciting words or sound effects, exclamations when you're playing. Things like, "Oh no," and "Whoa." When we use these fun or exciting kind of sound effect words, our mouths are moving so much more than when we're just talking in normal conversation. And that makes it a lot easier for toddlers to see what your mouth is doing and try to copy it themselves. Oftentimes, these animated fun words are some of the first words that toddlers try to imitate. Number 6 is to incorporate routines either into your play or your daily life. So you might have the routine of getting dressed in the morning, or maybe a cleanup routine after play. The important thing about a routine is that it's repeated over and over again. And we know that toddlers or anyone who's learning a new skill needs to repeatedly practice time and time again in order to master a new skill. Number 7 is to play with the same toys or the same way with your toys over and over and over and over and over again until you just feel like you can't do it anymore, or until your child loses interest. The important thing about practicing or playing with toys the same way over and over and over again is that your child has the opportunity to learn a play routine, to anticipate what's going to happen, to learn the names of the things that they're playing with, and to practice a lot of times in one play session, one 10-minute period of practice. Number 8 is all about teaching your child to follow directions that you ask them to do every day on their own. So we're going to pick something like bring me your cup or get your shoes, something that you're going to ask your child to do every day no matter what. And this is important because, as we've talked about in the past, repetition is extremely important for learning. And it's great to ask them to practice with something that you do every day because we can help them a little bit less as time goes on. So in the beginning, you might be doing it with your child. So you ask them, go get your shoes, and you go get the shoes together, talking about the shoes and using specific words to label those shoes, often over and over and over again. Maybe you have to do this for a few days. Help them and do it together. Then try and point. Say, go get your shoes, and point to their shoes. See if they can do it without you doing it together. And then after they've mastered getting their shoes as you point over to the shoes, try asking them to get their shoes without you pointing. See, over time, we'll help them a little less and a little less until they're doing it on their own. Number 9 is do the unexpected. Toddlers and young children are great at learning routines and anticipating what's going to happen next. If you do something that's unexpected, it's likely to grab their attention. And when you have their attention, you have the opportunity to teach them something new. Tip number 10, and arguably the most important tip in this whole video, is to make sure that you are having fun. When you practice with speech and language at home, it should be fun for both you and your child. We especially want your child to be having fun because when we are frustrated, upset, if we don't like what's happening, we are not likely to learn something new. And that's it for our 10 tips for building language skills in children who haven't started to talk yet. And I love these tips, and I think they're so important because we don't need to focus all of our energy on talking if our child isn't ready just yet. Focusing on some of these foundational skills can really build your child's confidence and help them work towards saying their first words. If you haven't already, be sure that you hit subscribe for our channel. We'll be posting new videos every week. And just a reminder, I have linked our free foundation speech course in the notes below. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.